I got y'all attention, checkmate. Now
This morning, music
need
mogul
to-
Sean
we
Combs,
dubbed as
known
a
as
race of
Diddy,
people since
facing
y'all
a
so caught
fourth
up into my
accusation
delivery.
of sexual assault.
5% of children
In a
now are
federal
catching
lawsuit
HIV.
filed
Taking down
Wednesday
a woman
against the
accused of
three-time
trying to
Grammy
burn
winner,
Dr.
an
Martin
unnamed
Luther King
woman
Jr.'s birth home down.
Man, D, we got to talk about this, brother.
Welcome to another episode of All Things Connected. I'm your man, just Daniel. I got my big brother, big little brother, confidant, friend, co-host, Tread the Great.
What's good?
We want to shout out our peoples, man. We did it last episode, but it was at the end, so we want to move that to the front and shout out some of our peoples, man.
Yeah.
Who you got on the list, D?
I want to shout out LaTanya Hill as always, man. She's always locked in. Our lovely mother, April Treadway, of course, she's always locked in. Shout out to Precious, Pushing P, Peasy. She's always sharing, man. She's always in the comments. She's always on Instagram and YouTube showing love. I want to shout out to Paige Boulevard, man. I'm rocking her stuff, man. She's always throwing me like merch and
You got some cold gear too.
Yeah, so top and bottom set. So shout out to Paige Boulevard, man. I want to also shout out my barber, man. When y'all see them fresh cuts, man, Kilo G is the man with the plan. So shout out to Kilo G, man. Appreciate you.
Nice. I'm gonna shout out Raquel Gant. I want to shout out AYT, which is our mommy. Shout out to Naomi. That's our sister, big sis. How you doing? Ron Roberts. That's my guy from high school.
Yes,
Real
sir.
good guy, doing a lot of good stuff in the
Real
community.
good dude,
Yeah.
man. Always with good dudes. Shout out to Ron, man.
Most definitely. Strings EMB.
My dude,
He been
Strings.
he connected.
Yeah.
He connected.
Thanks for connecting with us, Strings.
Trebor, and my guy Marquet. Marquet be tapped into us too. So salute to all y'all. We appreciate y'all, and we really do appreciate what y'all helping us grow, man. Like you said, we growing, man. We growing.
Yep.
We growing. And for all our people who are not connected, if you tired of the podcast, not shouting y'all out in the videos, not liking y'all comments, want to be all in it doing everybody else thing, but acknowledging y'all, come to All Things Connected.
Come to All Things Connected, baby.
What's going on with you, bro?
Nothing, man. Blessed,
How you doing, man?
Blessed, super blessed, man. Excited to be doing another episode, keeping this thing rolling. I'm living, man.
Most
I think
definitely.
sometimes we focus a lot on the negative, well, not even the negative, the things that's not going right in our life. That we tend to forget that we're blessed just simply by waking up in the morning, man, having running water, lights, ability to choose what you want to eat throughout the day. Income, car, like we're really, really rich, like when we really think about it. And so, super blessed, man. What about you?
Ooh, man, D, great points, man. Same, man. Everything's been good, man. Let them know what we got scheduled for today, D.
We're going to talk about Charleston White. We're going to talk about Diddy and all of his allegations that he's got going on. We're going to talk about the war between Israel and Hamas, the Palestinian war. And we're going to be talking about, man, did you hear about Martin Luther King house? Somebody tried to set his house on fire, D. So we're going to be talking about that. But first, let's start off with some good news.
Yeah. There's so much going on in the world today. You want to be a podcast that you want to highlight the positive stuff.
Let's dive into this video, man.
We are a nation of more than 330 million people, but many of us are plagued by feelings of aloneness, being alone, loneliness in that great crowd. In fact, according to the U.S. Surgeon General, about half of adults in this country are experiencing loneliness in some form, and it's not just a psychological or mental health issue. Loneliness, in fact, can put people at risk for all kinds of problems, including heart disease, diabetes, obesity, a weakened immune system, and sleep problems. In today's edition of Never Too Late, Dr. John LaPook shows us a program in New York that's meant to help.
This is what we're all about, is connecting, and it's a great story.
much to the delight of residents like Lori James.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of talking and very little chess playing. Is that what usually happens with these things?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Because that's how you connect to one another.
It seems like there's a lot more going on here than just chess. Actually, there's dominoes also and Scrabble, but there's a lot of conversation.
Sometimes we don't play any board games at all. We just have a conversation. So it's really about the connection. We're so pleased to be learning from the residents at these homes.
Man, that's good stuff, man. That stat is alarming, how you said that half of adults are experiencing loneliness, but shout out to those kids and shout out to everybody who made that possible, because we talked about it last time about this silent epidemic with our elderly and them not having anybody to connect to, but that just goes to show that connection is so important and so essential to everybody from the youngest to the oldest. And you heard them say, yeah, we got games and we play spades and dominoes and chess, but we learning from one another. We're listening to our elders. They're learning from them, and it's just this constant communication up and down the age ladder, I guess you could say. And they doing good, man. That's real good work. I wish more and more people would do that. And I need to get back to that. I used to volunteer at an old folks home, and you can tell, like some of those people, they haven't been visited by their loved ones, and it really brightens up their day to have somebody to just interact with for a few hours.
Yeah, man. It means the world, man. I mean, that's the profession that I'm currently in. You know, I'm fortunate enough to see the elderly, you know, every day. That's my profession. That's what I do. And man, I know the stat might even be higher, bro, because man, so many people like don't have anybody to come see them. And so like, man, shout out to this New York City program that brings these kids with these elders, because man, we sometimes forget that they're still people. They're still human. Although they have sicknesses, although they have memory loss, although they may be challenged with financial burdens or situations, those are still people with real feelings that definitely need to be talked to. And so, you know, this is pretty dope. And I see the level of impact also, D, that it has on people, because I live it every day. Like, I sit and talk to residents every day, and most of the time they just want to talk. Like, the games are dope, but they just want to, you know, talk about. I have a resident specifically at her name Lisa Paulette. She actually watches our show. Shout out to Lisa Paulette, man.
Nice.
Super incredible person, man. We met at the job, and we sit and talk for hours sometimes. And she always like, "Hey, you got a picture of your pretty girlfriend? Or I see you. Are you still modeling? Are you still styling? Are you traveling? Because you know I'm traveling back and forth to Atlanta all the time, doing styling and stuff like that with a few clients. And you know, she just wants to have somebody to talk to, and somebody that she can listen to, somebody that can listen to her. You know, she writes poems and she writes short like novels, and she's like, "Hey, I wrote a new poem. You gonna check it out?" And so I'll just spend some time reading up poems and talking to her about them, and it just brightens her day, man. And we laugh, we talk. Sometimes she cry to me about some things that's going on, and so we can't forget about the elderly, man, and that they need love too, man, and that they need care as well. So, yep.
Yeah, and so if you do have a grandmother or a grandfather, an elderly family member, go visit them, pay them a visit, and it'll make their world. That's far better than any Christmas present that you can give. And if you don't, visit your local old folks home. They are very accepting, very willing to take in volunteers to interact and to develop relationships with some of these individuals. So that's good stuff, man. Let's get into some hot topics today, D.
Let's do it, man. Well, you want to start off with? Let's talk about Charleston White, man.
Yeah, let's go there, man. He been ripping up the internet, man. He had a interview with Cam Newton.
Yeah, man.
As of today, it has about like 3 point something, and maybe even 4 million views right now. So,
man, that is
very interesting conversation, man.
Very interesting person, man. Charleston White, for those that don't know Charleston White, he's a local guy out of Fort Worth, Texas. who was a community activist for about 15 years. He spent his childhood basically in the juvenile system in boys' home, caught a murder, and did his time and began to, right his wrongs. And so he started working in the community, helping children, and then he felt like, that wasn't being seen or heard, so he started this personality on the internet. And so, yeah, we want to talk about Charleston White, man. He done went viral. He's in the billions of views. Like, everybody wants him on his show. Every time he go live, it's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people watching in. Some people don't like his antics. Some people, don't like the character that he's played. But overall, he has a hidden message that I think he really trying to push the community forward, especially for the community of blacks at large. And so, yeah, man.
All right.
So he was on a...
Let's play one of his clips.
Let's do it.
All right.
Because when I wasn't talking like that, wearing a bow tie, y'all wasn't paying me no attention. And I was going to the Supreme Court, changing laws and legislations in this country. I was working with over 50 U.S. congressional members, from Ted Cruz to Mark Rubio, Senator John Cornyn. I was on the front page of the American Bar Association Journal. I had done a study with News 21, Walter Cronkite School of Journalism. Y'all wasn't paying attention then. So I gave y'all what y'all want. A ignorant motherfucker that talk like them rappers. Now y'all listening. Now y'all paying attention, huh? I got y'all attention, checkmate. Now let me tell y'all what y'all need to hear. We fucked up as a race of people since y'all so caught up into my delivery. 5% of children now are catching HIV from ages 13 to 21. What y'all worried about?
Crazy.
85% of the new chlamydia, all the new cases are teenagers. What y'all so caught up about? 35% of most kids in inner cities can read on or above their grade level. What the fuck are y'all talking about? These kids can't read.
Man, D, we got to talk about this, brother.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Let's jump into it, bro.
Man,
So I know you.
It's so much to unpack. But go ahead.
No, go ahead, man.
It's so much to unpack in this video, man. I mean, I think, let's start here. Dude is an interesting character. Like, we know
polarizing figure.
He's a polarizing figure. He speaks his mind unapologetically. And he's always being put on these podiums and platforms. And there's a reason. So whether you like him, whether you love him, people want to know what this dude is saying. Whether it's comedic, whether it's ignorant, whether it's real facts. In my opinion, I like dude. Okay. I like the real messaging. And I think his message can get lost in translation if you're not really paying attention. If you don't get emotional, if you don't get mad, and you remove all the character that he's displaying, you move all the antics, because at the end of the day, social media, YouTube, all of these platforms is, it's about entertainment. It's about putting on this
heavily entertainment.
It's about
based.
It's not really reality. It's social media. And so he realized, as he said in the clip, like, when I was helping the community with the bow tie and the suit on, when I was trying to, help these guys in the boys' homes, when I'm sitting with Supreme Court justice people and politicians, and I'm helping little boys beat murders, y'all weren't even thinking about that. But when I started coming and started talking like these rapping guys, when I started talking ignorant, when I started saying F King Vons, when I say F Nipsey Hussles, when I say F the Deion Sanders, then that's what y'all want to hear, and that's what y'all really want to listen to. And so you're like, I only really said that so that I can tell y'all what I'm really passionate about. So if you can look past all of the antics and all of the buffoonery that he does, and look past, he's really trying to help us as a people, bro. Because we are messed up. Like, look at them stats, man. 50% of high schoolers can't read on the kids can't even read on the third grade level.
On a grade or above their level, yeah.
That stuff we don't want to talk about. That stuff we don't really want to deal with.
That's very true.
And it goes to the psychological programming of, like, us so used to hearing negativity, but gift wrapped and good music.
Yes, sir.
And so
Yes, sir.
he's right. The music is trash, man. What they're promoting, what they talking about, even I won't even go beyond the rappers. Even the people that allow it on airwaves and on TV and all these media channels and stuff like that, they understand that it's keeping the people broken. It's keeping the people at a certain level. And so,
Yeah.
the rappers are benefiting because it's just like a double-edged sword. Like, okay, I can benefit if I, post this poison and rap about this poison, and I get out the hood. Most rappers don't live in the neighborhood no more. They don't live in the communities no more. They don't live in the streets. They live in nice communities. And then the people who sell it like, well, there's a consumer for it. So what are we really talking about? This is what they really want to hear. And so it's just so hard. And it's this odd dichotomy like, man, no other group of people are popularizing, glamorizing this poison. But then when we start talking positivity, like me and you found out early coming on to our podcast, like, man, they just don't want to hear this educational, good, positive messaging. Like, they don't want to hear that.
All you got to do is look at the numbers.
You can just look at the
numbers of entertainment and you look at, I looked at the categories, learning and like science. It's actually a topic on YouTube. You got trending, you got news, and you got learning. Learning has the lowest views of anything, bro.
That is crazy, bro.
I was very, very surprised to see how small those numbers are.
I ain't surprised at all. I ain't surprised at all, bro.
It's crazy, bro.
Man, it's been so many. There's been so many educators, bro, leaders that's been saying like, man, I think the one guy, I don't know who said it, I can't quote him on it, but it goes something like, if you want to hide something from somebody, put it in the book. There's always been these sayings and these things, like, people want to be entertained over educated, bro. So I ain't really.
But I think that's why he did it, though.
I ain't really surprised.
Yeah. But I want to highlight a couple things because you said it, and when you watch the video, watch the full video if you can.
Yeah.
For everybody, if you say the N-word, like they gonna get cut off by that, and he understands why you got some people that they cut off by that. You got others like they embrace it. So I'm gonna talk like this. He said it during the interview. He said, "Man, I tried to go into these broken homes, these broken schools, these broken environments, and say, hey, young man, you shouldn't do that like this. But then when I started cussing, talking how they talk, it clicked."
Psychological.
He said, so you gotta talk how they talk, because if you don't, then you're gonna get the results that you get.
They're not gonna even hear you. That's how psychologically
they're not gonna even hear you.
Broken we are as a people. That you have to disrespect them, be aggressive, cuss them out in order for them to actually listen and then respond to you. If you walk up with a suit talking about Jesus love you, if you walk up saying, hey brother, sister this, 9 times out of 10 it's not being heard. You definitely ain't reaching a younger generation like that. So you gotta meet them where they are, because guess what? 95% of the time they consuming bad information. They're consuming hip hop. They're consuming
this way of thinking,
black
this way
culture,
of talking,
this bad black culture,
way of receiving things.
And I definitely want to decipher the two. You have black culture, right, as a whole, and you have the positive and the negative, just like anything else. So what we're speaking of is the bad part of black culture. There are so many positive things that we can highlight of black, and we definitely do it on this show. We definitely gonna talk about it. But right now, there is a dark side of black culture that we have to start calling out and start really talking about, because it's leaving us broken, bro. It's leaving us broken spiritually. It's leaving us broke financially. It's leaving our families broken. The things that we ingest and digest on a daily. And so he understands, like, I can't keep talking to the young boys like this. I got to reach them where they are, because they've been hearing this music in their psychological programming, in their subconscious, in the frontal cortex of their mind every day, all day. So I got to present this to him. And so that's what actually dude is so smart, man. He's a master at what he do, man. Like, and so I I think we
And so
gotta
he did.
stop killing the messenger before we understand the overall message.
Yeah, but then he understands that. Like one of the first things that you see when he's introduced by Cam Newton, he says, "Now you missed something," because he called him social media personality, a comedian, YouTuber, all this other stuff, and he said, for 12 years I was a boys youth advocate.
Mm-hmm.
And so what he's saying is, man, I'm coming from a place of education and experience.
Yeah.
And most people, because he saw for 12 years I was doing it this way. He mentioned all these places that he went. I was in front of Congress. I was working with senators. I was in this article, this newspaper. Y'all wasn't listening. Y'all didn't even know who I was when I was doing it. The way that y'all saying I'm supposed to be doing it, the way I'm supposed to frame this, the way I'm supposed to talk. So now, my mission is to still get you all's attention.
Sure.
So now, what I gotta do? I gotta talk how y'all talking, because if I talk this way, y'all not gonna listen because you turned off.
Yeah.
So if I present myself a certain way, now you see me. If I speak a certain way, now you hear me.
Yeah.
Now I got y'all attention. And so he said a couple different things, man, and I want to highlight, just in case you say this all the time, man, eat the fish, spit out the bones. So for those that cannot listen to what he's saying, here's what he's saying. Here's some of the things that he's saying.
Break it down, D.
He said, most kids reject what their parents teach them because they think the world knows more. The school's not teaching the kids everything that they need to know. He said, a key thing that he said, we don't train our kids. He said, we raise them. We provide shelter for them. We provide food, clothing, and that's pretty much it.
Man, that's a very powerful.
We were trained.
That's a very powerful statement and point, bro.
It is, because like he said, I was taught to say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am.
We were trained.
I trained my girls to say, yeah.
We were trained,
and I still do it to this day. If I don't know you, I'm going to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Yeah.
That's training. That's different than you just live in the same house. Your kid come in, throw their shoes all over the place, throw their clothes all over the place, and get on their game or get on their tablet, get on their phone.
Yeah.
No, you have to train them. And that's a very, very important part. And it made me think like, bro, you got to start training your daughters.
Yeah.
Just because you around them don't mean they not trained. If you play any sports, they're going to spend time on task doing something. And that's what we got to start doing as parents.
Yeah. Man, our mother and father did such a great job training us up in the way that they wanted us to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of that is missed. Man, I remember when I was like in 3rd and 4th grade, I didn't even know what rap music was.
Same.
They was like, we were in music class, they was saying like sing a song, and I was breaking out into like Christian music, Jesus music,
Marvin
Sapp, Commission.
Yep. Commission.
Man,
Yep.
Kirk Franklin. Like I was singing those type of songs, and then by the time I was exposed to secular music, they had trained me morally so strong in the things, the spiritual realm so strong, and God's principles and biblical teachings so strong that even though that music was enticing and hip and cool, because it is, man, you got the top producers making the top beats with the top minds rapping over these beats, man, and it's beautiful art, right? However, because I had a mom and dad that trained me, even though I heard what they were saying, I really knew I couldn't really dive off into that lifestyle. Like it didn't pull me. But I could just imagine kids that's not being trained by parents, that's hearing all of this stuff, and nobody's there to sit down and talk to them like, hey, they ain't living like this. This is only for entertainment purposes only. Like really, we have to get back to...
You can't distinguish that as a kid.
You can't. And so that's why as a parent, we got to do better jobs at getting into our kids' ear and their hearts and their minds, saying like, hey, look, I know, because I still listen to the music, but I ain't going to act like I don't listen to this stuff.
Same.
However...
And I let my daughters listen to half of it too, to be honest. Now, if they get crazy,
Never
then
get
I'll be
too
like, nah,
crazy.
turn that there.
Like Sexy
But
Red
you know
with,
another thing he said,
what's
D?
going
Nah,
on.
they ain't finna listen. But they still listening to it with their friends
They
at school.
are, and that's why you have
And
to
that's a
have the
key element, D.
conversation. That's why you have
There
to
you
have
go.
the conversation. Hey, son, I know we hearing this. I know we vibing, and I know it. You know, this is our workout music. We riding and stuff like. It's a good time, but let's take some time to really dissect what they're talking about, and let's see if this match up with our core values and how we want to live and present our lives and who we are as people. And I do that with my sons, and we talk about it. And I still play other styles of music as well, and so they're not being overconsumed by this all the time, man. So it's definitely on the praying job, and I want to salute Charleston White, man, for waking us up as a people, man, for shining lights on hard topics, even being a sacrificial lamb, getting death threats, you know, not selling out, because he talks about him.
But that's crazy though, D.
What's up?
For you to even say that, because that was a very important, and excuse me for interrupting your shout out, but for him to receive death threats, right?
Yeah.
Over his delivery, that was a key component of. I see you, Pooh. That was not right now, Pooh. Come on. That was a key component of his argument.
Yeah.
Nah, don't try to hide from the camera. You
Hi,
know it.
Maddie.
Nice.
Hi,
nice.
baby.
Uncle Dave said hi.
Hi, Uncle
Nice.
I love you.
Them drawing skills cold. So she got on camera to show me this. My baby, she doing her thing with the drawing and the art. She really wanna be an artist, and so, you know, it's Christmas time. They doing candy canes and
Christmas trees
Santa
and
Claus and all that
snowman.
type of stuff.
Somebody
Yeah,
draw it. I just
yeah.
drew it myself.
You just drew it on your own? Nice,
I drew
cool.
anyone just now.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't leave Daddy hanging on camera now.
Right.
Nice. You just drew that today, huh?
Man, she's so smart, bro.
Yeah, that's my baby. Yeah, that's for you. I got them for you. Dang, my other sexy baby just came in.
Uh-oh.
You already know.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I might cut this session short. Nah, but for real though, he said something. For you to say that, it made me think, man, look at all these people that he was saying. He was saying F King Von, F Nipsey Hussle, F this person, F that person. And what he's saying is, he said something key. He said, man, y'all glorify and worship these celebrities. He said, how come I'm getting death threats when what they promoting goes against everything that should be right? I said F King Von because he's a straight serial killer. And y'all tripping off saying, you snitching. What are we talking about? Where are our values when you can say, I'ma kill you because you said F King Von, when King Von out here killing people and talking about it freely in his music?
Man, we live in a dark world. Like he say, man, we in a dark world, bro. And darkness is being promoted, highlighted, pushed throughout these media streams. And so anytime somebody stands in the face of darkness as the light and call it out, you gotta be willing to do.
You gotta be willing to die.
You gotta
for it.
be willing to put your life on the line to go to combat darkness. But you know what?
You
know
really
what
do.
I thought? I said it should be more pastors talking like Charleston White. It should be more Christians, Muslim, the religious spiritual leaders. It should be more politicians talking like Charleston White. He shouldn't be just the guy from the neighborhood that's blew up talking like this. Because guess what? Christians are supposed to be agents of light. They supposed to combat darkness. But it seems like they want to be culturally accepted and more cool, and they ain't willing to put their life on the line. See, that's what the people in the biblical days used to do. They used to die for what they believed in. So if you're a Christian, you don't supposed to be accepting of darkness, of killing.
Come on now.
And saying this is your boy.
Yeah.
And these people,
Dude,
what's so astonishing to me is King Von ain't never did nothing for none of y'all. Nipsey Hussle ain't never did nothing for none of y'all. But here he is trying to help black people and people as a whole, bro, to see like, man, violence is violence. Injustice is injustice. Hatred is hatred. We got to stop glamorizing this stuff. But that's how you know that people are so programmed to fall in love with celebrities. And that's why these celebrities are getting off with so much of this toxic stuff, but they've been doing for years, bro. Because we like people right next to them are saying, "Hey, man, that's just R. Kelly, that's just P. Diddy, that's just Jay-Z." Because we don't know how to separate talent and celebrity versus character and what's right, and we got to do that as a people. D, man, if you do some messed up stuff in front of me, bro, I'm not gonna condone that mess. I don't care if you my brother. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care. Hey, D, you don't supposed to be messing with no underage girl, bro. You don't supposed to be stealing, bro, laundering that money. You don't supposed to be doing that, bro. Where has the accountability for right gone? Right.
And that's the disconnect.
And that's why.
That's what you saying, D. That disconnect when you saying where the pastors and where the, I really thought about that. I said, man, it's too many churches in hoods who are not going out and touching just the small community that surrounds the church.
Yeah.
It's enough churches out here. Everybody, it's enough people giving their tithes and their offerings and all this other stuff to where a church should be way more effective. And that's what he's saying. He said, that's why he's saying I can say F for Deion Sanders because I'm in the community and I ain't never saw Deion Sanders.
Yeah. And Deion lived
you saying
in
that
Fort
from
Worth, Dallas area with him.
You lived in the same area that you yes, and you ain't did nothing but smaller stuff for your organization. He said, man, hey, I seen Deion Sanders, and he walked right past us, so arrogant, and ain't say nothing to nobody.
Yeah.
See, when it's a disconnect between celebrities and people who got money, and I know that. Like, no, y'all not gonna think the same way. Y'all not gonna act the same way as everybody in these hoods and stuff.
Sure.
But look at how they idolizing y'all, and y'all saying, I can't even touch these people. I'm not really bringing stuff back, and they know this. And that's why these cycles are perpetuated, because we looking up to the wrong people. I have always said that. Charleston White, he's right. In this aspect, look, man, I'm going to get with some community activists, and we going to change our neighborhood. We not looking for celebrity this, all-star that, man of the year this, MVP that.
Yeah.
Clergyman this, clergyman that.
Yeah.
Look, we're going to put in the work and connect with those that are like-minded. He said that too. He said, all people ain't my people. He said, I mess with my kind. That's meaning I mess with like-minded people,
that's
bro.
Another one. All black people, not my people. I have a specific kind. Y'all want to get caught up on all black people. And you ain't, newsflash, you ain't going to be able to change all black people. All black people don't want to change. All black people don't want to get out the neighborhood. All black people don't want to stop doing what they doing. However, I believe there's a community of people that's sick and tired of the circumstances and situations that we've been up under in this country for all of these years. And Charleston White is waking these people up. And I believe meetings are going to begin to happen. I believe community commerce and money and financial literacy and people doing these things are going to be able to connect. And we're going to start seeing change with like-minded people. Everybody can't go. And you got to be understanding of that. And so, man, I just want to shout out to Brother Charleston White, man. Maybe we can get him on the show one day. And I think we can actually have a great conversation with him about his real movement. I watch a lot of his interviews, D, and a lot of people don't really pull the educated, the passion, the true heart of who he is out. They more so want to, get the character and the antics for the views. But man, I believe if we get him on our show, man, we can really talk some real stuff, because dude, he's educated, man. He's experienced, and he has a heart for the people. I really believe that. And so, shout out to Charleston White, man. Shout out to Charleston White.
Nice.
Anything else on that, D, that you want to talk about?
Nah, man, I think that wraps it up, man. I don't want to stay on Buddy too long. And if we ever got a chance to collab with him, honestly,
man, that'd be
I would like to rap with him off camera. I don't even care about the on camera stuff, because he said some key things in that interview. Yeah. That he has some game. I want to eat that up. I don't want to get the views and all that, because that helps me impact and connect more. So yeah, let's dive into the next topic. Let's dive into this Diddy conversation.
I want him for the
views.
I want him on YouTube for the views and for the. I know what he gonna bring, and it's gonna be exposure for our community, people that may not know him, and then we definitely gonna get exposed. So I ain't gonna lie, I want him for the YouTube and the great conversation as well. But I think the majority of our conversation wouldn't be about all the antic stuff. It'll be like the message behind the messenger. And so, yeah, shout out
And
to
then-
him, man.
Real quick before we move on, when he did that on there, when he said that, it reminded me of Tupac.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna show the clip.
Yeah.
He reminded me of Tupac when Tupac said,
You have to be logical. You know, if I know that in this hotel room they have food every day, and I'm knocking on the door every day to eat, and they open the door, let me see the party, let me see like them throwing salami all over I mean, just like throwing food around. But they're telling me there's no food in here. You know what I'm saying? Every day. I'm standing outside trying to sing my way in. You know what I'm saying? We are hungry, please let us in. We are hungry, please let us in. After about a week, that song was going to change to we hungry, we need some food. After 2-3 weeks, it's like, you know, give me all the food, breaking out the door. And after a year, you just like, you know what I'm saying? I'm picking the lock, coming through the door, blasting, you know what I'm saying? It's like you hungry, you reached your level, you don't want any more. We asked 10 years ago. We was asking with the Panthers. We was asking with them, you know, with civil rights movement. We was asking, you know, now those people that were asking, they're all dead and in jail. So now what do you think we're going to do? Ask?
I think that's what Charleston White is saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I tried being nice. I tried having the proper etiquette, having the proper grammar, and package it in a way that's acceptable. And now that I saw that wasn't working, it wasn't connecting. And so I just decided to change my language in order to work and connect. And now y'all hear me. And that's what he kept saying. Y'all ain't know who I was before this. And now y'all do, because I'm talking crazy.
And now his message has went global. And that's all that matters. Tupac did the exact same thing. He started playing thug. Tupac wasn't no thug, man. That was a smart, articulate, educated young man. His mama was a civil rights leader, like English teacher. Like, he wasn't no thug, bro. So he knew, like, in order to start putting out these powerful messages through song, I got to act like the ignorant Nigga. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
D, that right there, D, is a perfect segue into this Diddy situation. Now, we don't know whether he did it or whether he didn't, but if he did, now people are starting to come forward and say, hey, he was doing this, he was doing that. So I want to play this clip, bro, and we can get right into it.
Let's do it.
This morning, music mogul Sean Combs, known as Diddy, facing a fourth accusation of sexual assault. In a federal lawsuit filed Wednesday against the three-time Grammy winner, an unnamed woman alleges Combs and two other men, including a former longtime president of Combs' record label, gang raped her in a New York recording studio 20 years ago when she was just 17 and a junior in high school. The woman says it all began when she met two associates of Combs at a Detroit lounge. According to the lawsuit, which includes these photos allegedly taken that night, they convinced her to get on a private plane with them to New York, where they then plied her with drugs and alcohol. It's there, she says, the three men took turns raping her in the studio's bathroom. When they were done, the lawsuit says they drove her to the airport and put her back on a plane to Michigan. Combs denies the allegations, posting on Instagram Wednesday, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear," he continued. "I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth."
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, man.
Man. D, when I say, bro, I was I struggle with these things, man, because I want people to start coming forward. Let me say this, man. When that first happened with Cassie, I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
And you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, but like, man, Buddy's settling, and he settled fast.
But there was a reason why he settled. It was a reason why he settled. And
okay, well, enlighten me then.
We got to think, Diddy. So, number one, that was not a criminal case. It was a civil case.
Okay.
Diddy is tied up with major companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, basically, the companies made Diddy settle fast to save face for them because they don't want to be tied up to a person like this. And all Cassie was saying, like, hey, I want money, I want to be compensated. So the best thing to do is like just give her the money. So that's why you seen the settlement come so fast, because the big companies like, hey, if you don't settle, we gonna start pulling out, and they don't want to lose all their money. And so you even seen like the next day he dropped down from the president of Revolt and stuff like that. It was a company thing, D. And people don't know it wasn't a criminal, so he wasn't facing any jail time behind it. It was basically a civil case and it was money. And so the big companies like, hey man, you're gonna have to pay the 30 million, man, and we gotta save face. And so that's why it happened so fast. So people trying to say because he settled he's guilty. I don't agree with that. Now I'm not saying Diddy ain't guilty. But all of these things is alleged. And we haven't had a trial. We haven't had evidence. We haven't heard any of this stuff. All we know is some old friends is coming out saying, yeah, I saw this. I witnessed this. Diddy did this. And it's kind of same. It's kind of playing out the same as R. Kelly situation. Like, and I'll tell you exactly how I feel about it. I believe Cassie has some stern evidence, because she spent so much time with him. When you spend so much time with anybody, you're gonna have some stuff on them. Like, and I believe Diddy is a freaky, crazy person. Like, I think when you've been experienced like that, you've been in certain these rooms and you in this entertainment, Hollywood lifestyle and stuff like that in the rap industry, I believe some freaky, crazy stuff go on. I done been in some rooms and some parties where I done seen some freaky, crazy stuff go on. However, yes, I do think it's some valid stuff that Cassie has been through. So I don't want to dismiss that. That's just my opinion. That ain't factual though, right?
Yeah.
Well, I draw the line at when all these other people start trying to come forward, suing and stuff like that. It's just like, man, we gotta, and we spoke about this on our last episode, man. We gotta start putting some statute of limitations on some stuff. And I know you got people like, man, if he did it, I don't care if it was 30 years ago. And it's just like, okay, why now? Why now? And so a lot of the stuff, I don't know if I believe that, man. I just don't know. And I'm glad he's speaking up for himself, because the longer you just stay quiet, in my opinion, like, it gives all of these stories validity and truth. So I'm glad he was like, especially with this teen girl, and I'm not saying he's right or wrong. This is all allegory.
But they say it's 4 more accusations, D. And here's my thing. Like I said, you gotta wait till the evidence is brought forward.
Sure.
And you gotta wait till the verdicts and the trial and the jury and everything. Right?
And let me say this, D. In America, we are innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
That's first and foremost. So he's an innocent man right now. These are just allegations. So we definitely got to preface this conversation with that. Now you can continue, bro.
Yeah. So my point is, I think that all of these people, especially the men, I think that y'all some suckers for waiting until these women came forward if these allegations are true.
And they should be held accountable too. If you in the room watching this, if you seeing this, if you signing off and endorsing it, if you turning an eye to it, and now you want to come out and say all this stuff is true and he did this, he's sick and all that, you should be held accountable as well. It should be accessory to
nobody's
this
saying none of that. Everybody was take that, Harlem Shaking and everything else. And nobody had the gall to say, now this dude is a straight monster, if that's what it really is. If you actually witness some stuff and you know that he's a predator,
you a monster too.
It's almost your duty to say.
You a
and
predator
that's
too.
What Charleston White is saying.
D, I just told you, D.
But that's what Charleston White was saying, D. All y'all who keep up this nonsense about the no snitching, y'all are the plague that is running rampant within the negative black society.
You a part of the problem.
That's what it is. You are a part of the problem.
And you keeping the toxic, broken, dysfunctional stuff. You keeping it going. You're writing off on it without. If you looking at it and turning a blind eye, if you see it and you won't go to police authorities, you are part of the problem. You have no excuse to talk about the conditions of the neighborhood. if you're not gonna do nothing to fix it. You have no right to say nothing on none of these podcast platforms if you weren't saying, hey man, you wrong, bro. And if you gotta get cut off from Bad Boy and a lifestyle and the entourage and Diddy, so be it. Right is right.
And some of these cats ain't even a part of Bad Boys. They're just in that entertainment industry. So what's y'all excuse? Diddy don't control none of y'all checks. He don't control none of y'all money. He's not controlling your acting, none of that. So why y'all ain't coming?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's the same unspoken code as the street code, the no snitch code.
Very true.
The I ain't see nothing. I ain't gonna tell nothing. It's the same thing in hip hop entertainment in Hollywood. It's been that way for years, D. For years, you heard about them rappers messing with underage girls. Foxy Brown was number 15 years old. Aaliyah and them one but 16 years old, and nobody said nothing. Nobody said nothing. And so until we start calling right and wrong again, it's going to continue to happen. And then what I think is, I think they rise them up to drop their asses down again. Kanye, you see it with Kanye. You see it with Diddy. You see it with all of a sudden, this stuff been going on for years. Now all of a sudden, everything come crashing down. We got to wake up and start seeing. Ain't no love in this shit. Ain't no end in this stuff. This
that's very true.
This game is a game. And if you're not gonna hold people accountable, don't come out 20 years later and start talking about, oh man, I seen it and witnessed for my eyes. They need to put some handcuffs on your sick ass too.
Yeah, that's very true. And for the people, for the alleged victims, I disagree with that. Like, I'm just me being honest. It's a dog-eat-dog world out here, bro. If I see Cassie got paid 20, 30, 40 million, you know what I'm doing? I'm putting in my bid too. I'm going to cash that check too. I've been holding on to this ticket for 30 years. It's time for me to cash in.
Man, you ain't lying. That's what they do. We seen it
that's
with
what
Tiger
they do.
Woods.
And they should.
When Tiger Woods got caught up, then you seen all them plethora of women like, I'm going to get my hand in it too. And you know what? You're right. Because now it's gonna get these powerful people to start thinking before they do stuff. It's gonna get them to start thinking.
That's what's happening.
If they know, like, man, I can't be doing this, man. These women gonna come out on me, and even if they lying, I'm still gonna it's gonna ruin my image, my legacy.
And that's why I wouldn't settle, D. That's why I wouldn't settle.
Yeah.
Because when you settle, then that's blood in the water for sharks. If you're innocent, bro, you've had men go to jail and they said, man, all you gotta do is plead guilty. And they say, I'm not pleading guilty for a crime that I did not commit.
Yeah, but settling goes away. Settling ain't you saying guilty or innocent. That's why settling is smart.
Hold on.
Just like Michael Jackson settled.
Because now,
Michael Jackson settled and they forgot all about it.
Nah, Michael Jackson, okay, he settled.
And he's still the king. He died with
but you ain't have a whole bunch of people keep coming out. Like, this is what's happening. You have Cassie, the first one. Knowing that, and Cassie, like you said,
man, you had a bunch of little boys. You had a bunch of little boys coming out saying Mike did something to him, invite him to the ranch. Them parents was lining up saying we gonna get a party. It's the same thing. It ain't nothing new.
No, it's not, because they try to have, man, who was it was a child actor at the time.
Gary Coleman.
It was Gary. It was a little white boy too, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was so. If you look back into that case,
but hold on.
It's the same
when
thing.
they asked him, they said, "Did Mike touch you?" And he said, "No." He said, "Mike never touched me."
Yeah.
He said, "Y'all are trying to make me say that." So yeah, Mike probably. I'm gonna settle on his first one, like you said, yeah. But Mud's gonna keep coming now because they sense that blood is in the water, and Mike's saying, "Look, I ain't do none of it. I ain't finna keep settling nothing."
Yeah.
Because that's not true.
Yeah. So maybe Diddy can settle one time. Cassie got some shit on him, D. Cassie been around. Cassie been around too long, bro. She done seen some stuff. So I'm gonna settle with her. But all y'all other ones that's coming out the woodworks, nah, we gonna have to fight for this. That's why he came out. That's why he came out and started saying it. He ain't say nothing with Cassie. They just wrote the check. They just everybody. Yeah, I'm gonna protect my
like
name.
You say, man, you innocent, and I honestly think that's another tactic. Because let's just be honest, man, you can pay 4, 5, 10 people, 20 people to say anything nowadays, and I'm not saying that's the case, but it is possible.
Man, look.
And that's why, like you said, you innocent until proven guilty. But man, when they start putting all this stuff on the media, is you guilty and proven innocent.
Yeah, but you gotta wait 24 to 48 hours, D, and the stuff goes away, bro. It's another trending topic. It's another story that get highlighted. So Diddy know this the game. That's why he came out and protected his name, protected his family, protected his legacy, and he said we gonna do our
Very true.
Because by the time we go to trial for all of this, everybody gonna forget anyway. Dude, look,
this is gonna be a high profile case if this man go to trial for this, D.
But look how long
Mud's gonna be watching this like they was watching.
Listen at me, D. Listen at me, D. Please listen at me. R. Kelly.
Go ahead.
Surviving R. Kelly just came out 2-3 years ago, bro. That stuff happened so long ago, and then things kept happening with R. Kelly. So then it rose it back up. He settled, and it went away for years. And then new people started coming out. Did he understand? I'm going to settle this. It's about to go away. Yeah, when the trial starts, it's going to get some traction and some motion. And then whatever the court ruled, then the court ruled. Then I got to live with it. But right now, let me quiet it down. 48 out, man, you ain't going to be hearing about this stuff no more in a week or two.
That's true.
Yeah, you ain't going to be hearing about it in a week or two. So you got that's the game. That's America media. That's politics. That's what it is, bro. That's what it is.
Very true.
But whoever right, whoever wrong, I'm forever right and whoever wrong. That's my stance. If Diddy was messing with these women, raping these women, drugging them, then he needs to be held accountable. But if these women just was around for the party to get on the private jets, get drunk, get high, and start having sex, and I don't even know if you can say sex on YouTube, but XEX, we edit that out. Whatever.
No, we won't.
Look, if they was doing that, then nah, man, you had your good time. Diddy shouldn't be held accountable. So right is right and wrong is wrong, and we pray for justice on either side.
Yeah.
That's my take on it.
Real quick, man, we before we transition, man, and I agree with that 1,000%, man. We are on the side of right and the side of truth. Let's put it like that. Not right or wrong, the side of truth. And whatever happened, the truth is gonna get exposed. That's all it is to it, man.
Yeah.
So let's call it the word of the day, man. If you tuned in this far, I'm gonna put a clip in. The word of today is truth. Comment truth, all things connected, in the comment section, and enter the chance to win $100 for this Christmas season. Let's do that.
Get to it.
Man, let's talk Israel-Hamas. I know this was something interesting that's been on your radar. Let's get into that, bro.
Yeah, man, Israel and Hamas, man, number one, I want to preface this with this. This just didn't start on October 7th. Israel and the Palestinian people have been at odds and at war for years. Like 7 or 8 decade years, Like, this is not a new...
Centuries, not decades. Thousands of years they've been into it.
I be getting mixed up. I ain't the smartest and brightest all the time. I done butchered so many words on the podcast, D.
We all do, dude.
Hey, what?
Everybody
We need
does.
to do like a bloopers thing on our channel, D, with all the butchered words I done messed up. Hey, I don't profess to be this smart, like articulate brother that got all the answers, and I don't study dictionaries, but I can get my point across.
Right.
And so, yeah, for centuries this thing has been going on. So it doesn't... We can't start the story on October 7th. But we all know the story that happened on October 7th, where Hamas is a group of individuals from Palestine that basically wants to eradicate all Jewish people. This is what they mentioned. They said, we're going to keep attacking Israel and we want to eradicate all Jewish people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's their goal. And so they bomb Israel. They attack Israel hospitals, schools, and stuff like that. And it's horrific, right? It's horrific. Yeah. And a lot of times war is like televised now because you got social media, you got cameras, and it's this stuff. So you seeing kids with limbs blown off, you seeing blood shed, you seeing the tears, you seeing the mess. And so, of course, Israel responds. And America being Israel allies, America supports Israel. And so they send over money and military weaponry. And Israel can really destroy Palestine real quick.
Yeah.
real quick. However, you got people watching. So right is right, right? And so I want to preface this and start off by saying Hamas as a terror group, as they're being described on America's media and through the channels, this is a group of terrorists. However, man, if you look at the holistic story, man, Israel has been oppressing the Palestinian people for years. So much, and people don't know this until you do your research. If you we have to start educating ourselves and doing our research. We can't just rely on CNN, MSNBC, and what Fox, social media, and what they're trying to that's only one side of the story. It's two sides. So when I did my research, started looking into it, Israel control their water and their power, their internet access, and they can cut it off at any given time. So imagine people shutting off your water, shutting off your electricity, shutting off your internet in your country at their disposal. Yeah. Imagine them oppressing your people for years, at their disposal. So if you think about this, then now you can make a rational decision on to why Hamas even comes into play. Maybe they tired of getting beat up on. Maybe they sick and tired of it.
And I think that far too often, because our media is ran by a select few, you don't really get to see both sides or hear both sides, and so they can put this
propaganda,
very, very polarizing images and polarizing videos, and put this, I don't want to say a fluff piece, but you put this imagery that connects with people's hearts for one party and against another party without telling the entire story. And I'm really not too familiar with this Israel-Hamas scenario or war.
Like most people. So that's why he who control images control minds. That's why they can give you and feed you, because you don't know. You ignorant to it. And you would just see what they giving you, get emotional, and get upset about it without making an educated decision, an educated opinion, because you just don't know.
Right. And you speaking of you in a general sense.
For sure.
And that's typically what happens. But now what you're seeing is, because we have access to so many different outlets, not just the news at 5 on Fox, not just the news at 5 on NBC, people are doing their research and they're saying, hey, I don't necessarily agree with this war. I don't think that this is something that America should be interested in, especially when we got so many issues on the home front. Do you believe? I will never believe that one group of people should completely obliterate anybody and try to enact genocide. I will never agree with that.
Never.
But we can never discount. It's like this, D. When we talking sports, the if you push me and you don't get seen, and then I push you, and then that's what the ref sees, and they blow the whistle, then I'm the one that's getting the penalty call.
Yeah.
That's essentially what you're saying on a whole nother level.
Yeah, sure.
Look, man, you all have been doing certain things, and to be honest, this goes back thousands and thousands of years that they've been at war.
Yeah.
Right? And not only that, now currently certain things that are happening. And so I can definitely see where people are saying, even if it's a small group, is saying, look, we're not going to continue to take this. We have to fight back. And if it means us having a war, then that's what it means.
Yeah. And
war, that's what we're going to do.
And then here's what I tell people all the time. I'm glad you prefaced that, and I'm glad you said that, D. I don't think no group of people should be eradicated. I don't think any group of people should be eradicated. I think people need to start stepping in and combating evil, right? But let me say this. War is not a pretty thing. And that's why we need great leaders and great conflict resolution people in these seats. Because every time people wage war on somebody, you can't tell them how to respond. So even when people get mad, oh man, America's sending all that money over there, they won't forget our student loans. Man, you can't tell people how to respond to war. Because, let's say if I need to get my roof fixed at the crib, versus somebody coming here and trying to take me and my son's life, that's more important to me. I'll deal with that roof leak later, but I gotta handle this. So we can't tell America how to respond in helping the Israel people. I'm not saying I agree with Palestine or I agree with Israel. What I'm saying is you can't punch a person in the face and then tell a person how to respond. Hamas is responding. Period.
Yeah, but
Israel,
and you make a great point, D.
Israel is responding. This is a known conflict for years. So we can't start the story off October 7, 2023 and just say, oh man, Hamas is a terrorist group and we need to get rid of them. They talking about eradicating the Jews, but we don't know that the Jews controlling their water. The Israeli people controlling their quality of life.
The utilities.
What do you think people gonna do? No, the Jews shouldn't be genocide. Nah, the hell no. And they ain't going for that. Jewish people like, nah, we done been through that before.
Yeah, nah.
We ain't going for that. That ain't happening. But the Palestinian people like, man, we deserve a quality of life too. Y'all came and trying to take over our land.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there needs to be a peace.
You make an excellent point, bro.
Yeah, they need
when you say that war is ugly. So when I was in the military, I was in the military at the height of the Afghan-Iraqi war, right?
Yeah.
And I learned of something called the Geneva Convention. And when I heard it and I researched it, the Geneva Convention is essentially a set of rules and guidelines for, the treatment of civilian prisoners of war and soldiers who are otherwise rendered in combat or incapable of fighting. But it also kind of dictates how you can fight the war as well.
Sure.
And so when they were coming up with these IEDs and they were coming up with, like, remember anthrax was a big thing. Mm-hmm. According to the Geneva Convention, you can't use those type of tactics. Mm-hmm. And that I always said to myself, who would agree to this? The only people who would agree to this are the people who are in power, i.e. the U.S., Great Britain, France, like the big countries who have billions of dollars to spend on military funding. The small guy, he can't fight how y'all fight, because if I fight how y'all fight, I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
So I can't agree to this, and that's how y'all can keep y'all thumb on me. And so I definitely understand that, hey, if it's a fight, like you said one time, bro, if it's a fight, I'm picking up whatever's around me. It ain't nothing fair in fighting. So
yeah, bro.
War is not, and that's why I hate war, bro, because nobody wins in war, to be honest. The only people that win is the big corporations again, to be honest.
Yep.
Nobody, no common people ever win. You get flags, you get medals, but you lose lives, you lose limbs, you lose your mind.
Yeah.
War is horrific, and we really need to start working away from wars.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line, bro. And that's what they don't want to show on TV. Like, you can show this, but if you really show what happens when you put a bullet in somebody, bro, and put several rounds in somebody, if they step on a mine, if a grenade goes off, no, that's ugly, bro.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
And
people would stop sending they kids and their sons and their daughters to war, bro, unless something really, really pop off. If somebody come over here and start tripping with America, then yeah, you gotta get it. But we can't keep going over and supporting all this nonsense, bro. And when I say nonsense, I mean war.
Yeah.
War. Like, the common people are the ones going to war. That's really what's happening, bro. Ain't no senators and presidents and kings and queens sending their sons and daughters to war. No. Now, if it was still like that, how it was back in the day, then sure. But that's not what's happening. It's the haves and have-nots. And the have-nots, that's who going to war.
I agree, man. And you speaking from a humanistic standpoint, a very humane, opinionated perspective and point
yeah.
of view.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what it needs to be. And that's why it's so hard to go to war nowadays. It's easy to go, but then when it started, I got this phone and all of these descriptive images coming to my phone. Like people fighting against it, and they ain't like, man, I'm not interested in who right and who wrong. There has to be another way. There has to be some peace treaties. There has to be some accords that can be signed to prevent some of these things. If y'all can teach people how to fight the wars and prevent people from using certain tactics, then y'all can put things in place for us to not even go to war.
Yeah, that's a great point, D.
As human beings, bro, we have the intellect, the minds to be able to say, hey, what do y'all really want? What are y'all really asking for? What do y'all really want? What do y'all really ask? Let's talk about these things. Let's communicate about these things. And ain't nobody gonna dictate nothing. And there's gonna be some hard consequences if you do this. And this ain't gonna be televised. We gonna do it and we gonna end it right here and there. But we gotta start thinking about peace, bro. We gotta start thinking about human life. It's hard on either side. Because whether you're a Palestinian, Iranian, if you on that side of it, people are still losing their lives in front of you. And then Hamas, whether you going to bomb and attack the Israel people, and you saying you want to eradicate Jews, you still hurting people. So the very thing that you saying you don't like is what you trying to do. Come on, man. We got to get back to the heart of people, man. We got to get back to love, bro.
True.
And so that's my stance on it, bro. That's my stance on it. We're going to continue to watch and see how these things unfold and play out, man. I think it's going to get uglier before prettier, honestly, D.
Yeah, I think that's anything that requires growth, and I think that's a great perspective. It requires that, man. It's got to get uglier before it gets better.
Man, you got to tear down and you got to set things on fire. And speaking of setting things on fire, man,
I was about to say,
man, you see that woman trying to burn down Martin Luther King house? Man, let's get into this.
This story is crazy, bro.
Let's get into this video, D.
Let's get it.
Retired NYPD officers being hailed as heroes tonight after taking down a woman accused of trying to burn Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birth home down.
The two former officers were visiting Atlanta when they spotted the whole thing going down and did not hesitate to jump into action. Antoine Lewis spoke to both and has their story.
We just wanted to take a picture of the front of the house, but as soon as we got out...
As soon as they got out of their car, this is what they saw. A woman dousing the birth home of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Atlanta on Thursday. We caught up with brothers Kenny and Axel Dotson Friday when they returned to New York. Both are retired NYPD officers, and that training quickly kicked in when they saw others trying to stop the woman who tried to get away.
My brother and I both looked at each other at the same time and said, hey, let's go after. So we hopped in a rented Tesla. She runs up the driveway. We get out, we run after her up the driveway into a backyard, and we apprehended her in the back with minimal force.
Atlanta police arrested 26-year-old Lanisha Henderson and charged her with arson. Fox Atlanta reports that she is a decorated ex-Navy veteran. Built in 1895, King's childhood home is managed by the National Park Service and registered as a historic site, which makes the Dotson brothers' actions even more impactful, as authorities say Henderson was literally seconds away from using her lighter, which Axel took from her.
Man, what's up with Lanisha, man?
D, what was your first thought when you heard this? When I showed you or told you about this story?
Why? What was her reason? What was her reasons why? Why she trying to do that?
Yeah.
Man, she 20.
I'ma tell you, bro.
26 years old, man, and you know, like that stuff long past your time. People celebrate Martin Luther King, and he's a iconic figure, and his stories and his dreams and everything he contributed to you know, our world. I don't even want to say black culture, our world. You know, I just want to know why. I'm still like that report didn't even really show us and explain to us what was her motive behind it, and so that was my first thing. Like, why would somebody want to do that? He ain't in there. Yeah.
He big on
man ain't in there. Like, like what statement?
What Martin Luther the King do to you?
What statement you trying to make? Like what?
Right.
Like what? That's just like a monument in our country. Like, so it's just like, what's your issue?
Like, what made you go to that specific house and try to burn like this?
Man, you filled up. She filled up a big. That wasn't one of them small ones, D. That was like the 5-gallon joint.
But there wasn't no 3-gallon boy.
And she hit it and sprayed it, and it's just like, what? Like, why?
But you would think, man, that they had better security or better something. They said there's like a historical site or something like that, man.
Up. All that stuff is.
That's crazy, bro.
In Atlanta, where they got them buried at on water, you can just walk up. It's just public. It's public viewing. It's wide open.
Yeah, but if it's that important, then you can't. It shouldn't be accessible to where you just walk up to it. Like, you at least have a gate or something. Like, it ain't no nothing. You got to be more than that, bro. And you heard what they said. Like, she from the Navy. She might have some PTSD. She got some type of issues. And that's what the one of the dudes said. She got something going on with her, bro. Cause don't nobody just want to like. That's like a passionate thing, bro. Where you want some attention because of something. Muzz out here ain't just lighting houses on fire, bro.
Yeah, man. And that's what I'm saying. What you mad about? What's going on? You need to talk to somebody. Martin Luther King ain't been dead for years. That man ain't in that house with like.
Yeah, why that?
Or are you just trying to get a viral moment?
You got it.
This we on that. We in 2023. We in that social media age where everybody do whatever for a viral moment, man. So I'm the woman who burnt down Martin Luther King house. Well, you didn't get a chance to, and now you about to be charged and spend some time in federal penitentiary for some foolishness.
Yeah, man, that's so sad,
man,
bro.
That's funny to me.
Like you, man. I think it. Man, that's crazy, bro.
Man, Martin Luther King, man. But it goes to, like, man, go set them slave masters monuments and stuff on fire.
On fire, yeah.
It's
D, that's what I thought. That's why I asked you that. I thought it was white. That's what I meant.
Ain't
that's
no
what
way
I
I thought it was gonna be a black woman.
But you know what else though, D? If it would have been a white woman, it would have got way more national news.
So? Oh yeah, man.
I
Black
know
folks
so.
have been turning her down. Black Lives Matter would have showed up.
Man.
Everybody, all the fake activists and people
woman.
of the movement of the culture, they would have been out there with signs, and we probably would have had another riot, a race war again in the country. But when it's all just black people doing things to black people, don't worry about it. And that's what Charleston White be saying.
Yep.
When it come to us on us, we cool, we accepting of it. It don't matter. We don't hear Black Lives Matter come out when Ray Pookie get killed. When Will Smith and Chris Rock, when Will Smith smacked Chris Rock, he let him. He should have smacked him. He did. Like, man, when we hurt us, man, it get glorified. It's acceptable, boy. But when let a white person do something to us, boy, we ready to act like we care.
Yo, that's a great. We ready to act like we care. That's so true, bro. And that's what we got to get to. We got to get away from these movements and get to a way of life. That's what really needs to happen, bro. People understand that your anger, your rage is going to subside. Whatever, something else is going to happen. Y'all going to get upset. Y'all going to march. And at the end of the day, change isn't coming from that. Like, you all really got to start connecting with people, putting some plans in motion, and making y'all dollars talk. It's economics, bro.
It's definitely economics.
A lot of people say a lot of different things, D, and now it's just us talking. Those are our topics of the day. Now it's all things connected time. This country, I had a friend say to me, he said, this country was built on, we need to get back to Christian values that this country was built upon. And I thought to myself, This country wasn't built up on Christian values. It was built on economics. It was built on economics, brother. And that's what we got to start doing. I said it once and I said it again. It's a great book called Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson.
I got to read that book.
It's really giving us the blueprint.
I really got to read that book, D.
Man, it's cold. It's cold, bro, because it's showing us, it's giving us the blueprint. And that's one of the books that spurred me into getting us together to form our investment group, D.
Nice.
And it's the reason why we're taking the steps that we're taking, because it's all about strength in numbers. It's all about pooling resources together. You can say what you want to say, and I don't care. And I've never agreed with this, D. Every time I see somebody going to the government, going to Congress, going to Senate, going to anybody by themselves, that's wrong. You better get some like-minded people, and you better form some organizations and connect with other organizations and build a group of people within your cities, within your communities, nationally. It's too many organizations that are trying to do everything by themselves, and that's why we losing. Yeah. We don't have enough people to support any movement, and the movement has to become a way of life. So we need people to connect, form larger organizations. Stop with all these smaller organizations over here, start connecting, and then start ways of life. Yeah. The movements don't work because a movement begins and ends. Life is continual. Yeah. That's the play, and that's what we got to get back to.
No,
bro.
I agree 1,000%, man. They know, like, okay, they're gonna get mad. It's gonna be a trendy thing, and then it's gonna be the same old thing. Man, newsflash, people. The government not saving you. They're not giving you reparations. Your oppressor will never stop oppressing you. That's what we gotta know first and foremost. They're not. Why would they? It wouldn't be in their best interest. But we can control what we can control. Working together. Thinking critically. Planning, building, working together. That's what every other race of people I see doing it in the neighborhood. All the Arabs, the Jews, the Hispanics, the Chinese, they come over here working together and they build and make their money and stay in their communities, and they not trying to be accepting of nobody. We need to stop trying to be accepting of the white man, of America. We need and build our own stuff and connect on our own stuff. And that's sports, that's entertainment, that until we able to control our own narrative and we take ownership and work together in that, welcome to the continued cycle. But when we really want to change, we need to start working together and connecting and building. And we got the money, we got the minds, we got the resources, we got the communities, we got the leaders, we got the people. Period. It's that simple.
And D, I always say this, man. And Charleston White said it too, said, I mess with my kind. Man, it's not even a black or white thing, bro. We got to stop thinking, look, man, if you are in these certain living conditions, it don't matter whether you black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever. You stay in the same, you're my neighbor. We have the same conditions. You better stop thinking that you identify with these people all the way up there.
I tell people all the time, man.
Because they don't identify with you. They will take your money happily and keep doing what they're doing. They don't know you.
The real war is not a race war, but it's a class war. That's what we talking about, and that's what we speaking to. I believe there's a people that's going to connect with us, that's going to understand it. You're going to have the people, oh man, it is race. Racism will always exist. It ain't just the black and white thing, white and black thing. Racism going to always exist. That's a heart posture, right? But when we talking about growing, building, coming from the bottom and getting to the top, that's a class thing. And what changes that is togetherness and economics, bro. It's just that simple.
Most definitely.
It's just that simple. If the Jews can be the number one group of people and they went through genocide, they went through Hitler, they went through all of what they went through, man, as a people we can do the same thing, bro.
And the blueprint is there. It's with every class of people, no matter what their ethnicity, no matter what their background. All you got to do is look at the people who working together.
And that's who's going to win.
That's really what you got to do.
Gonna win.
And that's who's going to continue to win.
People working together. Absolutely.
Yep. Another one, bro.
Another good one, man. I like us doing these trendy topic things and talking about that, and giving the good messaging in between them, D. Like I don't just want to do trendy topics because you see celebrities in the news and putting their business. Like I want us to extract the good and the positive and how we can move forward as like-minded people to help people that want to be helped. It's cool to talk about that stuff,
Most
but man,
definitely.
I don't really be bought into celebrity stuff, but I know a lot of people are into celebrity stuff. So, but if we can give our messaging behind it and spread it like wildfire to people that want to see change, the people tired of being in the same old cycle, I'm really passionate about moving that forward. Using the trending topics to highlight the evil or the good in these messages so we can move our people forward and get people to see that, hey man, stop being sidelined by that stuff. There's real life to live. There's real stuff that needs to be tackled. And we live in a beautiful, beautiful world, man. Like, yeah, it's a lot of bad going on, but it's some great stuff going on, man. Like I started this episode off with, you know, just life in itself is a beautiful thing, man. And having children, like I think we get caught up on the wrong narratives because of we so consumed by media. But if you just take a step outside of that and start really thinking about what really matters in life, the fact that you can call on FaceTime and talk to a friend, a brother, the fact that you and I can do this podcast, you in Houston, I'm in St. Louis, and we can connect and talk and give our perspective and opinion. Those are blessings in itself, man. Stop chasing this vanity stuff, man. Stop chasing all this stuff that they didn't program to think this is what's important, man. I'm going to say it again, as I say it always, and I'm going to keep saying it. Life is about people. Life is about people. Without people, none of this stuff matter. And so we need to do a better job as people with connecting with people, whether that's forgiving somebody, talking to somebody, spending time with the elderly in the nursing homes, whether that's calling right and wrong in the face of it. I don't care how powerful and wealthy they are. I don't care if it's your cousin or brother. Like, we got to get back to understanding that people is the highest commodity. And when we get back to that place, I think our world will become a better place.
Most definitely, bro. I couldn't have said it better, and I agree with you 1,000%, man. That's what we got to do. And like you said, all this internet, entertainment stuff, it's distraction. It's really what it is. We got to start getting back to the real work. Work needs to be done. And once we tend to what we need to get done, personal issues that we have, fixing that, connecting with our brothers, connecting with our sisters, connecting with our families, then we can get ahead. And we already live beautiful lives. And that's something that we also need to pay attention to. We also need to realize that, man, compared to 99% of the world, we live like kings and queens, bro.
I'm gonna look up the stats on that, D, and because somebody beautifully executed an excerpt comparing the global world, the entire world, not just America, and what's deemed to be poverty and the low income versus the world and how other people are really living, bro. Man, they would trade your places. They would trade places with you so fast. And so I'm gonna find that, man, and we need to discuss that and have that as a talking point.
Let's make that our next episode, bro.
Let's do it. This is our podcast. We can do whatever we want.
We can do anything. We can do anything.
Hey, it's your boy Trent the Great.
I'm just Daniel.
This is All Things Connected. Hey, this thing is giving you value. You've been entertained by it, but you've been educated and touched and moved as well. Give us a shout out, man. Comment, like, subscribe, man. We're gonna be doing a lot of giveaways. Gonna be doing a lot of fun things as well. This is gonna morph and grow into something more than just two brothers sitting down talking. We're gonna reach a community of like-minded people that want to grow. We got financial literacy courses and stuff that we're building.
Yeah, that's at the top of the year
we
for
got,
sure.
Like family counseling, like everywhere. It's so many things that we're talking about because we believe better families, man, equal better community, equals a better world. And so, like, y'all go on this journey with us. And we thank y'all, the 290-some subscribers we have now that's already subscribed at the beginning of the journey. Man, y'all better tap in now because this thing is going to go crazy. And you don't want to be that 100,000 subscriber. You want to be like, man, I'm one of the day ones of All Things Connected.
Day one.
So, yeah, man, tap
real.
in with us, man. Keep growing with us. This thing is getting better. We're not no professional journalists or podcasters. This is something that we're passionate about. This is something that we decided to do because we wanted to put out positive messaging in a very dark, negative world. So this is what we're doing, man, and we're going to continue to do that. And we would love for y'all to have, we would love to have y'all on this journey as we grow and get better and help people while doing it. And so thank y'all for being with us. It's been another beautiful episode. We out.